Hey, how's it going out there? Richard Ramirez coming to you from Pismo Beach, California. It's a little bit after 9 o'clock over here on the West Coast, and I want to go ahead and give you some information. Is that okay? um, Today I was on a webinar with Diane Hochman, and at the webinar or the training was basically on how to communicate on Facebook or on any social network platform, if you will. Um, and just in general, learning how to create leads and building business relationships. Now, I know one of the biggest pet peeves that I have is somebody messaging me without even taking the time to look at my profile and finding something that we have in common per se, and just not really taking the time to get to know me, but they'll automatically send me this huge long message, and then at the end, it'll have their link of what they want me to look at. And I must admit, 5 years ago when I first came online, that's exactly what I was doing. But I had to learn that that wasn't the right thing to do. Um, but it took getting around other coaches and mentors who taught me that that wasn't the thing to do. So, um, one of the things that you want to do is when you're messaging somebody, put their name in the message. I see a lot of messages where it's just hey or hey you, and I made that mistake too because somebody taught me that that's what you do. No, take the time, put in their name. Okay. Um, as one of the things I remember because I used to be a food server for Denny's, and one way of building your business or repeat customers, even in the restaurant business, is by getting to know your customers. And you get to know them by name, okay? Not just by face. If you're able to remember their name, then they're going to keep coming back. And when you start remembering what they have, what their drinks are, how they like their eggs, how they like their steak, you know, your tips tend to increase because you're taking that extra step in remembering something about them. The same thing over here in the network marketing business. When you take the time to get to know the individual and you build on that relationship, then one of these days you'll eventually do business together. And it comes back to the know, like, and trust factor. Somebody who's out there constantly paying for traffic, that's great. That's one way. But bottom line is that you don't want to forget about the people that you brought into the business because you want consumers, not just customers. Um, the other thing that I learned today was prospecting versus pitching, which again comes back to link dropping in your messages. When you're prospecting, you're asking questions, okay? You're finding out more information about the individual as to what their pains are. You know, what do they do? Are they still currently working, or do they have an online business? How many kids they have? Do they have a family? You it's it's like one of my past trainers used to say. It's like ping ball, tennis, whatever it is. You're hitting something back and forth to each other. One person will ask the question and one person will answer, and then another question, another answer, and you just lead up to, you know, where you want to go. Um, the other thing is sharing stuff that you know other people will want and need. Um, it comes back down to your value posts on Facebook. Um, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, Tumblr, Instagram, Pinterest. You get the idea. There's so many things out there now, um, and you want to make sure that you have an online presence, which comes back to all these various items that I just told you. Video, audio. There's podcasts out there now. If you're afraid of the camera, just get yourself on audio. They have teleseminars that you can do, so that you don't have to get on video. But eventually people are going to want to see your face. So get over that fear. Um, and the biggest thing is edifying others. Okay, don't be afraid to edify your mentors. Okay, I happen to be part of the Diamond Dream Team, and they, both Steve Barnes and Jeremy Neal, have helped me over the past 6 months. Um, Video is one of those fears that I had, and it took one consultation where I just needed a little tweak, but I wasn't sure where. But having that consultation, I was able to change and see what I needed to do. So don't be afraid to get out there. Find other coaches online. Okay, find a support group. Okay, don't be afraid to ask questions, and especially when you're out there meeting people online. Find the people that have what you want and learn from them. That's the only way you are going to improve, is by doing that. If you don't know what you want, how are you going to improve? So make a list. And one thing that I found out that's nice, especially if you're online, um, you can open up Evernote or Notepad and just type little notes about the individual. Or if you're like me, you have one of these things, and you put your notes in here. Because eventually, what you want to do is you want to take that conversation from Facebook to one of these things. You remember what one of these are? Yeah, it's a phone, but this one's a wireless phone. Okay, remember those old things where you had to turn the dial, and it weighed 500 pounds? This one's much lighter. So don't be afraid to pick it up. Remember to do what you love with passion. Give yourself grace for the mistakes that you have made, and continuously grow at least 1% than the day before. You all have a great night. Take care.